At my twin brother's funeral, I got a text from his number. I'm not dead. That's not me in the casket. Don't trust your wife or our parents. That single message shattered everything I believed and led me down a trail of lies, betrayal, and a government secret my own family would kill to protect. Aaron's funeral was quiet, too quiet for someone like him. My twin brother was the type to crash a wake with a joke or a song. But that day, he lay in a casket as rain tapped the tent overhead, and I stood motionless beside it, trying to believe what I was seeing. Then my phone buzzed. I almost ignored it out of respect, until I saw the name on the screen. Aaron. The message was simple. I'm not dead. That's not me in the casket. I stared at it, cold spreading through my chest. A joke? Some twisted hacker? But then came the second text. Can't say more. They're listening. Don't trust your wife. Don't trust mom or dad. I looked up, scanning the crowd, expecting eyes watching from the woods. But there was nothing, only wind and wet leaves. Elena stood beside me, her hand locked around mine. I didn't squeeze back. She leaned in, whispering something I didn't hear. I was too busy staring at my screen. Was Aaron alive? That night I didn't sleep. Elena tried to comfort me, but something felt off, not distant, deliberate, controlled. I lay awake, replaying that message until the words burned behind my eyes. Don't trust her. Don't trust them. The next morning I drove to Aaron's apartment. It was cleaner than I'd ever seen it. Too clean. No dirty dishes, no jacket on the chair, not even a picture frame left behind. His fridge was empty, aside from a single bottle of water and a jar of pickles. He hated pickles. It didn't feel like someone died. It felt like someone had been erased. Aaron had always been cautious, paranoid even. After a falling out with a private employer 2 years earlier, he'd started saying things like, always keep a second trail. I remembered our childhood trick, a fake outlet cover in the wall behind his dresser. I found the burner phone there, wrapped in duct tape. It still had a charge. I unlocked it with the password he used for everything growing up. Blast off. To and only 3 contacts, Jay, Doc, and Red Fox. 1 video file. I played it. Aaron appeared on screen, breathless, looking over his shoulder in a wooded area. If you're watching this, I either escaped or I didn't make it. If there's a funeral and a body, that's not me. That's a setup. The people behind it are close, closer than you think. Start with Elena, and if you're brave, ask Dad about Cold Ridge. Whatever you do, don't trust Mom. Then the screen went black. My brother wasn't hiding from the world. He was hiding from the people who raised us, and the woman I married. For the first time in my life, I didn't know who to trust. But I knew one thing. The man in the casket wasn't Aaron, which meant the biggest lie had already been told. And if I didn't start asking questions soon, I might be the one in the next box. The day after I found the burner phone, I called in sick and drove to my parents' house. I didn't go in. I sat across the street watching them sip coffee on the porch like they hadn't buried their son or helped fake his death. I couldn't confront them yet. I needed more. I started digging into Aaron's last known trip, supposedly a solo hiking retreat in the Rockies. No park ranger reports, no rescue teams, only a vague log entry at a trailhead that could have been written by anyone. The digital trail ended there. I searched his phone again. No messages, no photos, except one thumbnail embedded in an encrypted folder labeled Echo. I managed to extract it. It was a map, hand-drawn, scanned, and marked with a red X over a place called Colt Ridge. That was the second time I'd seen that name. First in Aaron's video, now here. I searched online. Nothing, no towns, no landmarks. Just a vague reference in a declassified military budget line item from 6 years ago. Colt Ridge, biometric logistics, redacted. I knew what I had to do next. Sunday came. Dad's grilling day. Like clockwork, he stood in the backyard flipping burgers like the last week never happened. I walked through the gate uninvited. He looked up and offered me a drink. I refused. What happened at Colt Ridge? He didn't flinch. He just stared at me a second too long, then set the tongs down with precision. Where'd you hear that name? From Aaron, I said. He's alive. Dad didn't ask how. He just sighed like he'd been waiting for this conversation. It wasn't supposed to go this far, he said finally. It was research at first. What kind of research? He looked at the house, then back at me. Enhancement, cognitive, physical. Your brother. He was one of the test subjects. You experimented on your own son? He volunteered, Dad snapped. He wanted to stand out. They gave him a scholarship. At least that's what we told you. I stepped back. The lie hit harder than I expected. It worked, he added. He advanced faster than any of them. But the program ended, and they wanted to retain the asset. That's when Aaron ran. He looked up. If he's alive and contacting you, they'll come for you too. I shook my head. I'm not running. Then you finish what he started. I left without another word. Back at home, Elena asked where I'd been. I lied, said I needed air. Her eyes searched mine like she was trying to decide if I knew something. That night, I took Aaron's advice and reached out to the one person who might have known the real story, his ex-girlfriend, Mia. She lived 2 towns over. I'd only met her twice, but she was sharp. Aaron once said she could read a room faster than most people read a headline. She opened the door halfway. You look like him, she said. I'm Nate, his brother. I know who you are. She stepped aside. I asked her straight, did he ever mention Cold Ridge? She didn't answer. Instead, she walked to a drawer, unlocked it, and pulled out a thick folder labeled Echo. She handed it to me. I wasn't just his girlfriend, she said. I was assigned to him. You were part of the program? She nodded. I was a handler, psychological monitoring, weekly evaluations. I didn't know what I was getting into, but over time, I saw what it was doing to him. The blackouts, the hallucinations. He started documenting everything. I flipped through the folder. Charts, medical logs, incident reports, photos of Aaron restrained in a lab. He escaped, she continued, but not empty-handed. He took a drive, encrypted files, full documentation. Everything about Colt Ridge, the people behind it, the money trail, even the names of the children enrolled. If that drive ever goes public. What does this have to do with my parents? I asked. She hesitated. Your mom wasn't just a nurse. She was a clinical lead on site. Your dad handled logistics. Aaron found out. That's why he warned you. I sank into the nearest chair. Where is he? She pulled out a second phone, tapped an app, and showed me a pin on a map. A remote forest. He hasn't called in months, but if he's reaching out, it means he's ready to make this public, or he's in danger. What happens if I go? She looked at me, dead serious. Then you better be prepared, because once you step into that world, there's no going back. I parked at the end of a rusted forest road, miles from the nearest sign of life. According to the GPS ping Mia had shown me, Aaron was close, somewhere beyond the tree line. I grabbed my bag, stuffed the folder and burner phone inside, and started walking. No trail, no markers, just trees and silence. After nearly an hour of hiking, I spotted it, a rundown shack, camouflaged under moss and brush. Small, crude, isolated. I stepped into the clearing and called out, Aaron, it's Nate. I know you're alive. I got your message. The door creaked open. A shadow moved inside. Then I saw him. He looked older, sharper, like the forest had carved away anything soft. But it was him, my brother. You shouldn't have come, he said. I needed answers. I talked to Dad. I saw Mia. I read the files. Aaron nodded, stepped aside, and let me in. Inside, he pointed to a battered metal box on the table. Everything's in there. Names, logs, the full picture. Why now? I asked. Why send that message? They found me, he said. I had to act before it was too late. As he spoke, a snap echoed outside. A twig breaking, then another. Aaron froze. They followed you. We killed the light. He grabbed a pistol from under the table and tossed another to me. How many? I whispered. 3, maybe 4. One used to work security for Dad, ex-military. Outside, a voice called out calmly, Aaron Cross, Nathan Cross. We don't want trouble. Come out with the drive. They knew both our names. Aaron shoved the flash drive into my pocket. If I don't make it out, you take this to the press. Gunfire shattered the silence. Wood splintered. We ducked and sprinted out the back into the trees. Branches tore at my arms. Aaron led the way, veering left. Old Ranger Tower nearby. If we get high ground, we can transmit the files. I followed. No time to think. Just run. Minutes later, we reached the tower. Rusted, barely standing. We climbed fast, bullets pinging off the metal. At the top, Aaron yanked a portable signal booster from his pack, plugged in the drive, hit send. I watched the bar crawl upward. What's in it? He didn't answer at first. Then, you remember that scholarship I won in high school? It wasn't real. It was recruitment. Mom and Dad enrolled us as kids. I blinked. Us? He nodded. We were part of a behavioral study, Project Echo, designed to test how emotional bonds, especially between twins, could be used and broken. Loyalty as a weapon. My chest tightened. They used us? For years, Aaron said. They faked illnesses, set up crises, meant to push us, trigger responses. And we weren't the only ones. Dozens of kids. Some didn't make it. The upload finished. 100%. Aaron smiled. Too late, he muttered. Below us, silence. Then footsteps retreated. They're pulling back, I said. Because they know, Aaron replied. It's out. The world will see. I leaned against the railing. The weight of it all hit me at once. Our parents hadn't just betrayed us. They built their careers on us, groomed us for it. Aaron gripped my shoulder. This isn't over. It's just beginning. He was right. We weren't just running from a lie anymore. We were about to burn it down. We left the tower before sunrise. Aaron moved with purpose now, focused, silent. I followed, drive still in my pocket, its contents already spreading through encrypted channels. By the time we reached the edge of the forest, the story had broken. Project Echo was everywhere. A data drop hit every major platform at once. Dozens of files, videos, logs, financial reports. Names weren't redacted, faces weren't blurred. The content was real, documented, unforgivable. A covert behavioral study run by private contractors under federal oversight. Experimental conditioning on children, especially twins. Emotional manipulation, chemical testing, psychological breakdowns. Some labeled non-viable. Others disappeared altogether. Headlines exploded across X, Reddit, and news feeds. Whistleblower accounts validated the leak. Within hours, top officials denied knowledge. By day's end, 2 senators called for hearings. A former lab technician confirmed the children's files were real. A name on one chart, Aaron Cross, was mentioned live on cable news, and just below it, Nathan Cross, ours. It wasn't just Aaron's story anymore. The next call came from Elena. I didn't answer, but her voicemail played. Nate, listen. I can explain. I didn't want to be part of this. They had leverage. My father, he was sick. They promised treatment. I didn't know how deep it went. I was supposed to monitor you. That's all. I never meant to hurt you. Please call me back. I didn't. Aaron watched from across the room. She was your handler, he said. Same as Mia was mine. I nodded. The silence between us said enough. 3 days later, I went back to our parents' house. Same address, same porch, but it didn't feel like home anymore. Aaron waited outside. This is your decision, he said. But whatever they say, it's a lie. I rang the bell. My mother opened the door. She tried to smile. Reflex, not kindness. You saw it all, she said. Yes, I replied. Everything. My father appeared behind her. We did what we had to. You were chosen. I stepped inside. Chosen? You fed your sons into a program that broke people. You let strangers turn us into experiments. We helped build something important, he said. A system for the future. Controlled development. Strategic behavioral alignment. Don't dress it up, I snapped. You signed away our childhood. Aaron entered then. My mother gasped. My father went pale. You forged my death, Aaron said. You buried a stranger and called it grief. You were unstable, my mother said. You turned on the program. You became a liability. No, I said. He became human again, and you couldn't control that. I reached into my coat, pulled out the document. A federal subpoena, signed. You'll be testifying. Both of you. For the first time, they didn't speak. My mother sat down slowly. My father stared at the paper like it was a foreign language. Aaron and I walked out. That night, I checked the headlines. 2 arrests had already been made. 1 senator had resigned. A private contractor linked to Project Echo issued a statement of cooperation. Elena vanished from public view. Her credentials were revoked. She filed for divorce. I didn't contest it. 1 week later, Aaron and I sat in a hotel room watching a journalist explain our story. 2 brothers raised inside a government-sanctioned behavioral experiment. Their testimony, corroborated by evidence and third-party witnesses, has cracked open one of the largest secret trials in recent U.S. history. We were no longer subjects, we were proof. I didn't feel victorious, just clear. The system that tried to erase us would never be the same, and neither would we. 6 months passed. The public knew our names now. Aaron and I had done only 1 interview, national, live, and controlled. The rest we left to the investigators. The files had spoken louder than we ever could. Project Echo was officially disbanded. The hearings uncovered over 40 names tied directly to its operations. 12 arrests, multiple resignations, several plea deals that saved careers but not reputations. Our parents accepted a deal. Guilty pleas, stripped licenses, asset forfeitures. They avoided the harshest sentences, but not disgrace. Every article listed them as architects of a child conditioning program disguised as a behavioral study. They never apologized. Elena's name surfaced early in the leaks. Psych evaluator, field handler. Tied to a shell company feeding reports to Echo's oversight board, she claimed coercion, claimed fear, claimed she loved me. I didn't respond to her statement, not publicly, not personally. After the divorce finalized, she vanished from view, changed her name, moved across the country. She left behind no trace, no closure, just silence. It was enough. Mia went underground. She'd done her part and wanted nothing more to do with it. I respected that. Aaron said she'd given him a warning once, before it all went sideways. They built this system so no one could speak. Break it, or it owns you forever. He didn't forget. Aaron moved to the mountains. A real cabin, not a hideout. No service most days, no visitors. We still talked. Once a week, always brief. But it was real now. Honest. I stayed in the city. I used what was left of the settlement funds and launched a foundation. We called it Lighthouse. It offers legal support for whistleblowers, recovery programs for victims of institutional abuse, and encrypted channels for anonymous leaks. We help people who've been buried under secrets find daylight. I don't live under surveillance anymore, but I still lock my doors twice. Sometimes people stop me on the street. They say, "You're that guy, the twin, the one who blew it all open." I nod, because yes, that was me. But I'm not that person anymore. The person I was died in a quiet graveyard on a rainy day, when I thought I buried my brother, and instead dug up the truth. Now I live as someone else, not for revenge, not for fame, for accountability, for truth. For those who didn't survive Echo, whose stories were cut short, sealed away, or rewritten by people who valued control over life. 1 year after it all began, I received a letter. No return address. Inside, 3 lines. I don't know what's real anymore, but I believe you. I just wish I had sooner. It was from Madison, my daughter. She'd cut ties years ago after things fell apart with Elena. But she found the truth in the files, in the coverage, in the things no one could fake. That letter mattered more than any headline, because it meant the truth didn't just expose the past, it reached forward. Aaron and I never got justice in the traditional sense. No courtroom could undo what was done to us. No sentence could restore the lives lost to experiments. But we exposed it. We ended it, and in the world we now help shape, others won't have to claw their way out from the dark just to be heard, because we listened, and we made sure others could too.